Album Review, the podcast where four totally unqualified guys review a different album every week in the hope of broadening our knowledge of music. However, we are easily swayed off topic and have no real idea what we are talking about. Today's album is Northlane Alien.
Hello again. Ding.
Oh, nice ping there.
Ding.
Sorry, I'll mute.
It just happens.
Muted.
That happens every time I say hello to anyone.
Hello. Bing.
Hello again.
Bing.
Even when you've met them for the first time.
Yeah, even. Yeah. So this album, I feel for you guys on this one. I'm not gonna lie. It was not great, was it?
I enjoyed my time.
You enjoyed your time. That's great. I think this album has its pros and cons. I feel like it had more cons than pros, but I'll go through those. The songs that I have heard, is Bloodline and Talking Heads. Those are the songs that I've heard beforehand, and they're definitely not on my top three. Definitely not on my top three.
Oh, they're not in your top three.
Or maybe. And
oh god,
the mystery. You know,
is it a classic where song 4 is the best song?
Oh,
Joe Mid would quote.
It could well be, but it might not be.
What I'm listening to is like morning radio. This is how they all speak, and it's awful. Maybe. Oh, all right, coming up, we've got Jason Derulo fucking a child.
But maybe not fucking child.
But he's not. No.
Stay tuned around 10 o'clock to find out.
It's like that thing. You seen that thing? That guy who's like, I'm gonna risk something even worse than dying. Being a registered sex offender, and he's like pulling his trousers down in front of kids.
I mean,
or it's like you see those videos where it's like, I spent 3 years figuring out how to pick a like police grade handcuffs.
Yeah.
I'm going to get myself arrested and pick my way out of them.
Yeah.
Who's doing this shit?
But it's like, but while drowning. It's like, fuck's sake.
Why do you fuck me?
Oh fucking hell!
Such a niche humor.
So, I feel like the issue with this album in general, other than it being a bit of a mess, there was just no like structure to any of the songs, which made like every song just blend into the other. And like there wasn't a lot of like variety. It all just sounded the same. There was questionable rhythmic patterns with the drums that just made everything feel out of time. The vocals weren't that great. And then as hard as the songs must be to play, it was just like, that's probably because there's like no fucking time signature. It's all just bloody. They're just hammering and going for it, you know. It felt like they got in a recording studio and just went, right, just make some noise, we'll do whatever. That's the album, done, great guys, thank you. And they did that for an hour, you know.
You just said that obviously that it may be difficult to play. I don't think it matters when it sounds like ass. You know.
Yeah, it's pointless of it being like hard if it.
What I meant by
out of it, you know.
You missed my point, but what I meant was like it's difficult to play because none of it makes sense. It's just all a mess. You never know what part of the song you're on, you know.
You tend to use technicality though as a sort of guideline for how good something is, but this can be technical and awful at the same time.
I definitely agree. But saying that, I did like some of the bits on the songs. A lot of it felt like the Doom album, like the Doom soundtrack.
Do not shame Doom
nice.
like that. This is
what do you mean? This is literally
AIDS
like
compared to
pretty
Doom
much
stuff.
Doom without the vocals.
There was some songs very Doom-esque.
Yeah, there were, and it was like basically a lot of the songs were basically like Doom without the without the vocals, you know.
With the vocals.
Like if
What's
you took the
the
vocals out and shoved it in the Doom game, you wouldn't notice it. Like,
I think I would.
I probably
I
wouldn't
think
because I've never played it. So
I feel like Will, you're just being very pessimistic towards this album.
I've been pessimistic.
Who, me?
It is shit, though.
Will, because you've agreed with me, Denver.
You said Will, not Will's son. God, idiot.
It does get confusing.
He is my son.
Do you know this album actually rates really well critically?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I've seen that.
Who cares
like,
what
pretty
critics
across
think,
the
though,
board.
to be honest.
Yeah, people like Last of Us too.
And this is the thing. I don't know whether like I'm just starting to like dive back into like non-metal type of music, or whether this album was just bad. You know.
In fairness,
there's a lot of reggae.
This album is a departure from their like metalcore roots. It's more new metal.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's done his research.
He's done it. I
Because
like
there's
it.
definitely a difference.
Research. There is
definitely
so
a
much difference.
So much
You can tell
difference
the
between
difference. It's just-
and there's so much difference there.
It's like the AC/DC album again.
I was expecting this rip from you guys, but I'm trying to be fair to the album, right? Because I don't think it necessarily all sounded that bad. It was just the fact that it had no structure. There was like no hooks. There was like
no hooks.
yeah.
I feel like
Anyway.
you're trying to pull the blanket over what is just a monstrosity underneath it. It's like, this is still awful, but it's like, but look, it's got eyes and legs. It's like, yes, 12 eyes and 40 legs. Kill
Still
it.
an ugly person.
Kill the fucking baby Joe.
And also, it's funny when you say about blending, because like 2 of the songs
Because I'm
do
going to blend
actually.
a baby.
The end of the song feeds in perfectly to the next song.
Which ones were those?
So, Jin feeds into Eclipse, and Rift feeds into What is that word?
What are you looking at?
Paradigm.
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 Is that supposed to be
Paradigm.
is it supposed to be paradigm?
Paradigm, maybe. I don't know. But that one, they feed into each other. So if you actually play them on shuffle, it's really jarring how they end. Like how the song starts, okay, but it just makes the ending weird of the other songs if you play them on shuffle.
I feel like this would be a good band to see live. And the reason I say
gives you that impression.
No, not
because
at all.
a lot of their songs, like a lot of it doesn't even have vocals
bad.
on it. It's just a vibe, you know. A lot of it is just
Fuck my life.
a lot of it is just like an experience, right? You're just like getting lost.
Yes,
in, like,
it's a really bad
vibe of killing
experience.
myself, to be honest. Yeah.
I feel like this is probably similar to Drowning. Yes.
But I was kind of stuck in that trap, right, where I was like, right, I knew I liked 2 songs on this album, because they're in my 2021 playlist and have been for a while. But I've been claiming, I really like Northlane. They're really good. They're really good. Only having heard 2 of their songs, and now I feel like
classic Joe move.
I feel like I can't claim that anymore because it's not that good. Picking a worse song on the album was very difficult too, because they're all so similar and they're all bad for the same reasons, you know? No hooks, bad sounds, you know, fucking there's no structure. Like there was never like a clear chorus in
I feel
most
like
of the
bad
songs.
sounds is just it should be the defining thing of this album. It just sounds bad.
So,
It is just bad sounding.
I
There is
mean-
not a good sounding song on the album, in my opinion.
I disagree with that.
I don't care what you think. You
So-
forced us to listen to this. This is your fault.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I listened to it more than the minimum 3 times.
Oh my god.
It's because
Why?
he was so shocked that anything could exist like this that he had to see it again.
He was like,
So-
I want to damage my ears.
My least favourite, I picked Eclipse. Just because I thought I didn't like the riff, like the I didn't like that. It was a bit cringe, I thought.
Oh yeah,
Just noise.
I can't remember what song it was,
cringe.
but there was also a song that they like built up this like as if it was going to go into like this really heavy breakdown, and then it didn't, and it was really annoying. I can't remember what song that was, but it was like building it up for like 30 seconds.
To be honest, I didn't notice there was any
I think it
different
might have
songs
been
on it.
Eclipse.
I did. You
Right.
just weren't listening well. Jesus.
Well,
Just 'cause it's
open,
in Canada.
open your goddamn ears.
Will's like,
Can't, they just closed for shit like this.
Will's like, I just don't want to do album review because I don't like this album, so I'm not going to listen to it.
No, I've listened to it, I just couldn't tell if there was
Oh,
any different
I've
songs on it.
listened, motherfucker. I've listened hard.
I've listened, alright.
How do you listen harder? Do you just turn up the volume?
You just squint. You're like
Or do
really
you
like.
play it
Heavily.
in like half speed so you can hear the individual instruments more?
You
It's
take
like,
it.
oh, that bass kick, that was nice.
Oh my God.
Oh, that strum. Oh, you can hear he just slightly got that wrong. That's a bad recording there.
Bad recording. Like listening to like anyone like that must be crazy. Half time. I'd love that. It would
My
be a
third-
really weird one
Listen
to
to all
listen
songs but slow mo.
but in 0.5 times speed. It's like that YouTube channel. I watched Avengers Endgame in 0.25 speed, and this is what I found. And you found like little Easter eggs.
See, they're laughing. It's because this is the kind of shit that you two watch. Why? Like, God
Right, I
fucking
don't ever
damn
watch
it.
them. I just see the title and think, that's funny.
That is a funny title. It's just like fucking hell. You guys are awful.
My third favourite song was Details Matter. And I kind of just picked this for the just pure funny reason that every time I started the album again on song number 1 and it comes in with that really big scream, I was like, oh, the guys are gonna hate this. And
Which
it was
one's
just kind
that,
of
sorry?
the first song on the album.
I quite like the first 5 seconds. Like, I was like, oh, this could be interesting.
Yeah, it's like
and then it's
got like the
AIDS.
sirens type of thing.
It's like, boom, 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 boom.
And then it comes on with that scream, and I just imagine your faces every time that comes on.
Oh, it's dirty.
I can't imagine Aidan's face because I imagine he's shot himself with a shotgun and there's nothing left.
I look like a clicker.
Yeah.
Second favourite was Bloodline. I actually like this because obviously he sang mostly on this song. I think his screams were really well placed, how he built them up as well. Genuinely one of my favourite songs at the minute, this song.
Was that singing?
What do you mean?
Finterman.
He literally, there's less screaming, more singing in this one. But
There
he
is singing in that one, to be fair, Will.
he-
You
Oh,
weren't
no,
listening
no,
hard.
No, it's just kind of
I hear what
questioning
Will's
what you
saying.
class
He
as
was just
singing.
like, yeah, because Will thinks the singing's bad. Which
It's
is
Right.
because it is.
I liked it. I when I first heard Bloodline a long time ago, I didn't gel with it that much, and then it grew on me because there's it felt like there's not a lot of energy, right? Like he's holding back quite a lot, but then that all kind of services the song. It's got quite a nice meaning behind that song as well. I mean, not a nice meaning. I meant, sorry.
What's the meaning?
Well,
I never actually looked
the
into
meaning
lyrics
is
and
his
things on this.
dad died from a heroin overdose.
What a
and he watched-
nice meaning. Wow.
I'm just going to put that in the top 3 right now.
That's such so wholesome.
I meant to say dark.
Come
meaning,
on,
but I
Dad,
said
get up.
nice
Let's go
meaning.
get some more Mexican tar.
R.I.P.
Hey.
Yeah, so I
Why
like.
do
like
we
the
always
kind
end
of-
up mocking a dead person?
I know, it's so bad.
Every session, we make fun of somebody
Oh,
dying.
what is your dad dead? Get over it, bitch.
Get over it. Buy a contract. Get
Sound like your
insurance.
dad dying? Just don't.
Buy a
Just don't.
gun. Use a Sitco CT and kill yourself.
So then you don't have to pay off your car loan.
Oh, got all the references.
Buy a
What's your
Glock.
second favourite?
It was Bloodline. I'm not sure if you heard.
Right. No, I wasn't. I can't warrant this album. Fuck.
Cool art though. Cool album cover.
Do you think?
Yeah, definitely cool art. And I liked.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think
I
it's
kind of
if
think it
anyone
makes me
ever
want to
listened to it-
bath.
If anyone listened to it on their phone as well, you've got a cool little video thing.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
What was I going to say? Yeah, first favourite. Number 4, Talking Heads. Fucking banging song.
Banging.
But I thought it was going to be Bloodline, but it had the mix of heavy. It had the kind of dramatic singing in it. The breakdown. Loved everything
the
about that
breakdown,
song.
yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's a brilliant song. But those are the only 2 good songs on the album. And for that reason, it makes the album pretty shit. It was the only songs that had actual proper structure as well, and actually a hooky chorus. Not that they were incredibly hooky, but in
Joe, are you clicking?
Yeah, why? Can you hear it?
Stop.
Oh my
Joe,
god.
can you hear it? The recording will fucking hear it.
You just got to cut out each individual click.
Oh, I like that. Joe will be speaking and I'll be like, the album.
Fucking Joe.
In summary, sorry about this one. Predictions are, I genuinely think this is probably going to be the worst album we've ever picked.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
No, I couldn't
Deborah,
agree more.
are you clicking? Stop!
I was just cracking my knuckles.
Stop!
But I can do it because mine.
Stop!
I have mine autocorrects. You see.
Stop!
So yeah, enjoy ripping into this one, boys. Love you.
Fuck you.
Denver.
This album,
What can I say about this album?
I feel like.
You are smacking your lips again, just to let you know.
I feel like
it's just noise, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like
But isn't all music
until I
just
did my
noise?
review. Listen, I felt like I ended up having to review it like harder because like when I just listened to it times, I had to listen to it more purely because the album would be over and I'd be like, did the song change? Like what happened there? Like I would have it on and I'm just like I couldn't differentiate anything.
Oh, were you not listening, Denver?
It was well,
Did you
on
not
my
listening?
review listen, I was Will, and that's when I noticed elements. Okay, so what I found was it is actually mostly noise in there.
Yeah.
Scientific research.
What I found from this experiment.
It's just like you've got like people going to Mars and like the test and trace of the vaccine. Denver's out here doing the real research.
This is what we really need. Is like
Why is Northlane's Aliens just noise?
we need like an artist just to bring out an album that's got like 10 tracks on it, and it's just there's no noise at all. It's like it's like oh my god, this is my favorite track.
But, oh my god! But they actually break science by doing it, and it's one of those ones where if you turn the volume up, the room becomes silent, even
like
if people are in
sound.
it
Oh
speaking.
my god.
Oh my god!
You've seen those videos about like being in the
Tap E to use
quietest.
your intelligence.
And like Calyx did it, where he like stayed in the quietest room.
Oh, where you can like hear your own blood
You
pumping.
yeah,
Oh,
you can literally
God.
hear your own bodily functions. It's horrible.
Isn't that the room where like no one can stay in it for more than like 8 minutes?
Yeah, because you go mad. Like it starts to drive you insane. So
Crazy.
There's quite a famous Edgar Allan Poe story called The Telltale Heart about a guy that basically just goes nuts because he keeps thinking that he can hear the beating heart of a guy he killed.
oh god.
So yeah, this album,
Nice-
what was I saying?
nice
So yeah,
meeting you.
mostly noise. It had something different that I hadn't really ever thought of it with another metal album picked, and that was that it was also boring. Like it was noisy and boring. There was never any hooks or any be like, oh, that bit's cool or whatever. Like to get to that level of being like, oh, that bit's okay. I was like picking out individual instruments in like 5-second segments and be like, oh, that little beat is good. I must say, I think one of the things that was well on the album, and I feel like a lot of metal music gets wrong, is the mixing level of the drums. I felt was the only good thing about the album. Like the drums just sat in that perfect band of they sounded nice and they weren't ever overpowering or hidden like we've had in other metal tracks where you're like, was there even fucking drumming in there?
Can I just say, I am so genuinely impressed that you took the time and effort to properly review this. Because, like, after my third listen, I didn't give it the light of day. I was like, this is it, I'm done with this, fuck this. I am
Yeah,
genuinely, like, fucking, I'm almost proud, I'm tearing up.
Ah.
Good, holy shit.
Did you guys see the...
Shut up,
the
Joe,
thing I
you
tagged-
made this happen.
Did you guys see the thing I tagged you in with Polaris, the drummer,
No.
on Facebook?
No.
I did, yeah. I didn't watch it, but I saw that you tagged it going, oh, and you said the drums were bad. But I seem to recall we didn't say they were bad, they were just mixed really badly.
Yeah, you couldn't hear them.
And so I just saw that point and I was like, I'm not going to click on this just out of spite.
See, and then
But yeah,
Denver and Will just chose to ignore it.
No, I did watch
Well,
it.
I was at work. I saw it and I couldn't play it because I was at work, and then I forgot about it.
No, right, fair enough.
I did watch it, really.
I feel like I proved my point in that thing.
I don't think you did, because I don't think any of us said he was bad. I think, again, We just said that
Joe
it wasn't
proved
really
the
prominent.
point that nobody made. well played, Joe.
And also,
one step ahead
can't
every
lose
time.
an argument if you're not listening.
also
I'm
the
just
drumming
one step
wasn't
ahead.
that good in the video. Like, it was good, but it wasn't.
Oh,
I don't know how you define good drumming in those regards, right? Because I would argue anyone can play anything with enough practice.
yeah, pretty much.
So what defines being good at drumming? I would say it's like the ability to just play perfectly to a music, like after hearing it for the first time, kind of thing.
I mean, but that's almost like a gifted point of that. Like, because, yeah, you probably could practice the point of that, but a lot of, like, music and stuff ends up being... It's a bit of a gift. I would know, most talented musician alive.
So yeah, like I say, the drums in this were the only like thing I would rate in it. Not in terms of it was amazing drumming, just in terms of how it was mixed with the rest of the music. Because I almost then wanted to say maybe the production was good in that regard, like the mixing. But then the vocals I thought were awful. Like sometimes you just what he was saying was just noise. I'm like, what words are coming out of your mouth? Like, I can't clearly define anything you are saying for half of the songs.
Mm.
So I couldn't write that it was mixed well. All I wrote was the drums were mixed well. Better than probably a lot of metal albums we've done, because often they seem to overpower it with the guitar like riff, just overpowers and destroys everything.
Yeah.
See, you say this, but because it was just so much noise, like I felt like I didn't even notice the drums. Like I just didn't even.
I mean, yeah, I can
acknowledge that they were
there. Like a lot of it
existing.
was just. I think the word is mind-numbing.
Yeah.
As in, like, I felt like anytime any of the songs came on, I shut down.
Yeah.
Like, my body just outright rejected it. And that's not even a joke. Like, genuinely, I'd sit there, the song would pass and move to the next one, and I'd be like, I don't know where I am.
I'm going to be completely honest here in that I never got through the full album in one sitting.
In one sitting. No, I didn't either.
I had
to keep going
break
back
it
to
up,
it.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I just couldn't, like, even like I tried to do it like while working out, so I was like, maybe I'd do that because it's a bit like upbeat in that sense, and like got to like track 4 and I was like, fucking hell, went on to something else, just went back to it later. I couldn't.
The only way I
ever
managed
do
to
it.
play it so many times was because I was always listening to it and playing Dead Space.
Ah.
Like I never like sat in the car and just listened to the album because
Was it good
it
to
was boring.
Was it good to listen to while playing Dead Space?
No, the reason I kept playing it because it kept being over, and I've been like, have we had a song? Like, what happened there? It was all just noise. So I kept playing it again to try and be like, to look deeper into it,
Yeah.
like to actually find something to say about it other than noisy and boring.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it so we don't have to.
Like I say, as I said earlier, it rates quite well for some reason. So but even if Joe didn't think it was that great, I don't know, like,
Well, it's all the new metal
what the
fans,
target.
isn't
Well,
it?
I guess it's all new metal people.
If that's a thing.
All the songs very similar and no hooks.
I imagine the new metal people are just as ignorant as Joe is when he talks about metalcore.
Wait, what?
I think you'll find this is metalcore. It's a different kind of metal. You see, metal deviates into many different categories, one of which is metalcore, my favourite. Now, I would
What
say
is a
this is
genre?
my favourite. Well, let me tell you, a jinrei was actually derived from the Japanese word for gonra, which means gonorrhea. Also, yen is the Chinese money symbol, and I knew that.
What
Joe is Japanese. Yes, and I knew that.
What's your second favourite, Denver?
My least favourite is Eclipse, because that is just noise, and even the vocals in that, there's some weird ass effect on it, so it just sounds even more terrible.
Good.
Third favourite, Bloodline. I put it as Bloodline. I have no notes to say about it. I just didn't have I just didn't write the word boring next to it on my notes. So I was like, I guess that's probably one of my favourites because it didn't stick out as boring, but I had nothing good to say about it. Second favourite, Freefall. It was mixed well. I thought it had the best mixing
Nice.
of the drums in there.
No, Oscar, I'm alright, thank you.
Freefall.
Sorry.
My guns is full.
Guns is fun. Goodbye.
Guns are fun. Tell them about Code CT.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Buy a Glock.
Get a Glock. Get your kid a Glock.
I mean, that's a good thing. Is obviously when the rest of my family walk in, I could be like, no, I'm recording. Like, Oscar fucking kicks in the door. Want to play guns? Want to shoot each other? No, I think I'm okay, thank you.
Oh god.
It's
He's
only
so
because,
polite
it's only
about it
because
as well.
one time I did walk in and just start shooting him. So
He forever thinks it's like
it's
comes
gun
at the
time.
ready.
The moment he sees me, it's like high noon. Well, this town ain't big enough for two.
Oh my god, if fucking Oscar walked in and said that, I'd be the fucking funniest. Dressed in a cowboy outfit. Oh, that'd be the funniest thing.
He doesn't like cowboys. He likes wrestling at the moment. He's big into Dave Bautista.
Batista, yeah.
He's not. He actually likes Rey Mysterio.
Ah, classic.
The
Does he
mask
still
guy.
fight?
Probably,
is he
but I
alive?
think he's like 50. Hey? What?
I thought he was dead.
Rey Mysterio? No, I think he's alive.
Didn't the Undertaker retire?
Probably. He was.
He always
very
comes
old.
back.
He always comes back. I mean, he was like 60, and every time he did a show, he was immediately rushed to hospital. He had a new injury. That's not even a joke. Legit, when he would leave the ring, and then that'd be it. It'd be on a stretcher. Off he goes.
He's like he's done.
And then he'd come back out next year for his next show. Took him
I
a
know
full
when-
year of like recovery.
That one show must do him for the whole year, you know.
It does.
You know all these wrestlers getting into like movies and things now. It's like you just suddenly see in the Fast and Furious 18, The Undertaker. It's Vin Diesel's other brother.
It's his other brother. I love that.
Vin Diesel's like, God, you're so beautiful. Can I marry you? God, she's gorgeous. Wow.
Oh, God.
I can't do the interview. You're just so beautiful. Wow.
Oh, what a guy.
He's fucking weird.
He
I've
sounded
just
Um,
noticed there's only one good vocal line in this entire album.
What's that?
It's
Where-
in
where-
Sleepless, and it's like 2 minutes 38 seconds in.
Oh, the
But then
bit where he goes hard.
Yeah, but I can't tell if it's like a woman. It doesn't even sound like him.
2 minutes 38.
Oh my god, who's listening to it out loud?
Even
Oh,
then, it's
yeah.
not that strong. But is that even him?
Maybe.
Doesn't
It definitely is.
Doesn't sound like him.
I don't know what you said. You obviously didn't listen to the rest of the album.
Right, you didn't listen, Will.
Yeah, sorry. You're
Um,
right, I didn't.
Number one was Gin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great
Not just
reference.
because of the reference to Gin.
Great reference.
It's because it reminded me of a song for Call of Duty Zombies.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I actually kind of like the weird, kind of creepy tone in that song.
So I was like, I could imagine this being on a Zombies game, and that just edges it enough and gives it enough difference for me to rate it slightly higher. I still wouldn't want to listen to it, but like if it was on in the background with Zombies, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I wouldn't instantly hate it. But yeah, all in all, just boring and noisy is how I'd describe this album.
Thank you.
Aidan.
I can't even really call mine a review, to be honest. It's just, it is bad. There is so little to say about this album because any positive is overshadowed by the many, many negatives on it. Like, as you say, it just sounds awful. It's a complete lack of structure. There's no hooks. It's just bad.
Yeah.
The worst song could have been literally any of them, but I picked Eclipse, which is, I feel like I picked correctly if you guys both picked it as well.
Yeah.
Because, as you say, it is just noise. That's all it is. It's just bad. It's just really bad.
And even the vocals in that, they put a weird effect on. Which is awful.
I'm going to come out and say I haven't said Eclipse because if you took away
that's
the
your
vocals,
favourite.
like I
Is
felt
it
like
because you didn't listen to the album, Will?
no, I feel like it's the only song that like the backing would have been cool in as a soundtrack, whereas I think everything
See,
else was
I thought the backing was also bad in that song.
I don't know.
Yeah,
me?
it's because that one is the most doom-sounding one.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think that's probably
Yeah,
why.
like if you take out the vocals, the backing is just like straight out of Doom.
Yeah, so that's like the one I didn't think it was the worst because if you did take away the vocals, I actually quite liked the backing, and that was it. To be honest,
You know, I don't like Doom soundtracks, so
Yeah, I don't. So But yeah, I picked my top 3 based on the singing, and most of them are awful too. So they probably aren't the best by any means, but I couldn't warrant spending any more energy on this train wreck. All right, we all established that.
Yeah.
Good. Third favorite was Rift, techno singing thing that's still bad.
God's sake.
Right? Second favorite, Sleepless. There's a bit where he goes hard in that song, but it's still all bad. Right?
Yeah.
My favorite, 4D. My favorite singing bit on the album, but it's still bad. Overall,
4D was
I'm
a
glad
weird
I
song.
never have to listen to this album ever again.
Fair enough.
That's it. Because I was so mesmerized by the fact that Denver actually did proper research and analyzed this. Because this is just a fucking mess.
It is.
How can anybody listen to this and think, oh yeah, music? It's just it's not.
I think I had to look into it because I couldn't notice anything.
It's got as much musical ability as putting a fork in the microwave and watching it blow up. This is just awful.
Yeah.
I also spelt little wrong. Lytle.
Little by little.
So yeah, sorry. Well.
That was it.
Yeah, well, there's literally nothing to say.
Oh, wow.
There just isn't. All that I can say about this album is that it's the only album that's ever made me ask Denver if I can physically rate it a 0.
You can.
See.
So if that doesn't warrant my response, I don't know what does.
I think this is the worst album I've ever listened to in my entire life. Like I say,
Your entire life so far.
So far.
Joe still has more metal picks up his sleeve.
I feel like
No, he said this was the last one.
Well,
no,
he did, but
he also forgot one. He forgot Bear Tooth, so
he's a
There's
pathological
couple that
liar.
cropped up, but this will be my last one
He
for
is
a
just
while.
a liar. He's a liar,
Oh,
though.
God.
Let's be honest. The amount of times he said that he stopped smoking, here he is. Nicotine addiction's still in full
But
swing.
my favourite thing about Joe Stop Smoking, though, is he had that Stop Smoking app that he still just says he was not smoking on. So it's I've gone 58 days without smoking while having a fag.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
He looks at it and says, you haven't had a fag in 5 days. He's like, oh, I should have a fag.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I should get on that.
I should get
I've been
smoke.
procrastinating for so long.
I was worried I didn't have a podcast. I was worried that I wasn't smoking there for a minute.
Yeah, I feel like the whole album was one song because I hated it. It was just the worst fucking thing ever. I've never had an album where I couldn't actually listen to it the whole way through without having to go and listen to something else because it was just fucking AIDS. And there's literally nothing I can really say that's good about this album except for probably one bit in one song, and that's about it. It's just fucking AIDS. The vocals were terrible. I feel like none of it, all the structure is just a fucking mess. I hate all the instruments on it, and it's just the fucking worst thing I've ever listened to in my life.
It's weird because they are actually quite a popular band. I'm
pretty sure they have more monthly listeners than Don Broco.
They do.
People are just wrong.
Maybe not right
Like I
now.
said, and they're playing download, I think, this year. So
Yeah, nearly 500,000 monthly
Oh yeah,
listeners.
to be fair, yeah.
God damn.
I always think of Don Broco as bigger than they are. I think.
Yeah, they're really small.
I can't wait for all their fans to go listen to them, and then when they leave the festival, they wonder why they've got no fucking brain cells left.
You got no fans.
Walk out with their fucking ears bleeding. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
I love that for Will to explain how dismissive he is of this album. He just uses the word "fucking" in every other sentence.
Because I'm so outraged at how
I'm just
terrible
so
this
fucking
was.
fucking angry.
I know. I'm actually angry. I just hate it so much, and the fact that we've actually given them listens angers me. It pisses me off.
that's a bit mean.
I don't
Those
care.
3 streams, you're like, give me them back.
I don't care. They're probably in their 30s. Grow up. It's fucking tragic. I hate it. Go away. It's the worst thing.
Grow up.
Grow up and stop making music.
Grow up, stop making
Awfully
music.
aggressive.
And
That's so funny.
oh, it's just, get a job.
I love
you
that.
fucking.
Get a real job.
Oh, it's just the worst.
Super aggression.
Oh, I hate it.
Will Davey is the UK government right now.
Sorry.
Arts, fuck off.
Also, they changed the lead vocalist back in 2014. Just a little Northlane fact for you there.
So wait, if we go further back, are they better?
No, they're more metal.
All right, hang
Can
on. I
you
wanna
be
go
any more
listen.
metal than this?
2011. I want to listen to Dispossession, which is not a word.
Dispossession's an awesome song, by the way.
Joe, just die.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
listening
you
to it.
even
This is
said you
awful.
liked that one when we were on holiday, so...
Oh my god, this is so just in the album discoveries. Look at all the names; they're so pretentious.
I know, I can't even
Ooh,
read all of them.
Dispossession, ooh, comatose, transcending dimensions, ooh, metamorphosis. Fuck off!
Yeah, fucking grow up.
None
get
of
a
it
job.
means anything.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
old screamo.
Oh, it's just the worst. It's just the worst week of music I think I've ever had. It's just awful. So worst for me was Rift because I can't remember any song could have been the worst to be honest. But I feel
Is
like
it because of
it's very-
Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart?
Oh, I can't wait for that game.
yeah, it doesn't
Can't
even
wait to
deserve
Fuck
to have
that Lombax.
that title.
That Lombax.
That Lombax,
I feel
yes.
like when that game comes out, we should all, like, if we can, just all, like, go to Will and Denver's and play it there.
I'm
Just like-
afraid not.
I don't want you here.
I don't want.
Just like-
I don't want that
just-
to happen
Why do you want that?
because that game means a lot to me, and I don't want that. I will
don't want you
experience it on my
ruining it.
own,
I don't
to
want
be
you
honest.
going, I'm player one, I'm taking the control.
I say, well, give it to me.
It's like the Last of Us thing for you. Like you wanted to all play it on your own experience. I want that with Ratchet and Clank, and I don't care what
So
you say.
you're saying
Like-
even after we've all played it, you don't want us to
Oh,
come
after we've all
round?
played it, yeah, fair enough, but not the first playthrough.
Yeah, but I'm deliberately not playing it till next year just so that we can delay you coming round.
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
That's fine.
I'm probably going to book
love
the day
it.
off work for it. Not gonna lie.
Me and Denver were actually speaking about that the other day, of like the player one thing, and like how like Joe, when you're playing something, and I ever came round, I was playing it, and you're like, oh, give the controller back. It's a story part. I need to experience this.
No, I'm not like that anymore, though. I was
What
a
do you
kid.
mean? You literally are. That was like last year.
No, that's not true at all.
When did Days Gone come out? Because that was the last time you did it.
That was
cool.
2018.
2018.
And again, I did
That's a
not
long
do that
while
with
ago.
Days Gone. We were all...
You did.
No, we did not. I'm getting triggered. I'm getting so triggered right now.
Well, then I was getting triggered when you were doing it. So,
I wasn't doing it, so...
oh, that's all right. You didn't do it then. It must have been my mistake.
Oh no, it was 2019, sorry. It was mid-2019.
Oh, mid 2019.
So it was after the whole... Oh no, holiday was last year.
So basically, since then, pretty much lockdown has happened. So the only reason that I haven't experienced it again is because I haven't been around that much.
That's not true. It's because it doesn't happen.
Oh, sorry. Story time. Can't hear you. Give the controller back.
Oh, I'd say the last time that happened was when like we were in like secondary.
Days
school.
gone.
when we were
Literally
in
days
secondary
gone.
school.
Literally
No,
days gone.
What, we were not in secondary school when Days Gone came out. That was like fucking 6
Exactly.
years
Yes,
ago.
I know, Joe. That's the point. That is when I'm saying the last time it happened was.
Not true.
Okay, it's not true then.
You're
I'm just
spatting mysterious
clearly
lies.
lying.
You are literally conspiracies.
I mean, normally you ask for a time and a date, and we found you a time and a date, and now you're denying it.
Yeah, because it's not true.
Well, name one time it wasn't.
What do you mean?
Name a time.
Name a time you and Aidan played a game in which you didn't go, can I have the controller now?
Come on, Joe. Name one
Days
time.
Gone and God of War.
Right. Name one time. Because that didn't happen. That happened. All right.
What about God of War?
Yeah. What
you
about
do it?
God of War?
Didn't do
Name
it
one
God of War.
time.
Remember we both did the fire thing together.
That was
But
different.
hadn't you already
Joe.
played it at that point?
That's because you
Yeah.
needed me to do that. And then when we did get to a story bit, you took the controller back.
No, I did not.
Name one time.
When we get to a story bit.
Now, what? You mean when you took the controller back?
So what's your third favourite? Well,
Now, name one time.
Bloodline, I think, because it had some vocals in it, even though they were terrible.
You think.
Second,
You think.
yeah, I can't
Bloodline,
really
you
remember.
think.
Again, the whole album was a one track, right? So second for me was Gin because again, vocals.
It's so progressive that it is just a one-track album.
Yeah, so good.
it's ahead of its time, really. It'll be a big thing in a few
I was
years.
going to say they're ahead of the meta. That's all.
And you're all going to hate me for
better.
this, but my number one is actually Eclipse, just because of the backing, and that's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I liked about the entire album. So,
well, you're so different.
I don't hate you for that, Will, because
It's the same reason my favourite's Gin, though, because it sounds like a Zombies song.
yeah, like if you had to pluck at strings for reasons to like things on this album, so if you can get anything at all, it's a fucking bonus.
Pretty much.
You know. So there you go. Sorry that I was so just done with it.
aggressive.
It's
you
kind of
were
aggressive,
very aggressive.
but I just hated it so much.
Like this music, noisily aggressive.
It's just the
Nice.
fucking worst thing.
Almost arrogantly aggressive. I like it.
Ratings
4.
1.
0.5.
0.5.
Oh, that's under a 10, right?
This is never going to... Surely we are never going to have a pick this low again.
I'm not going to lie. Like, if it wasn't for Eclipse and me liking a part of that, I was going to give it a 0 because I just fucking thought it was.
What did you give it? Wait, sorry, did you give it a 1 something, Denver?
Just 1.
Just 1, yeah.
And then mine and Will's score combined was 1.
So it scores 6
Oh my god.
out of 40.
Is that
What's
the
the
worst?
So what's the nearest, like, thing to that, you know? What's, like, the second...
It's probably
Worst.
like a 10
Is it
that you
Periphery?
rated like a 7 or something like that.
I'm
It's got to be a metal album that Joe carried.
trying to look. 11, yeah, Periphery.
Mm.
So 11 is the worst.
I think I
And
get
what
that,
did
a
we all
9.
rate that?
Will gave it a 1.5. I gave it 1.5. Aidan gave it a 1. Joe gave it a 7.
There you go.
There you go. I
So
think-
across the board, everyone gave that higher.
Yeah. Well, it must have just been a better album than this. That is how the
I'll
ratings
tell you what then
work.
also is very close. KSI.
What, was that another really bad one? What did that get?
KSI was awful.
11.5 KSI.
God damn.
So it was only 0.5 higher.
No, that
Wait,
that
didn't
should
Will
be
rate
the
that a
worst.
7?
Yeah, that should be the worst.
Yeah,
I
Will
mean,
gave that a 7.
no, it shouldn't, Joe.
You and Joe gave that one a 1. I gave it a 2.5. Will gave it a 7.
God. But yeah, Northlane, if you're listening, fuck you. Stop making music and grow up.
Grow up, get a job.
Get a real
No,
job.
don't listen to that because that's
Get a real
horrible.
job. Come on.
It's about the process of making it, and they probably really enjoyed just smashing their vocals against the
Maybe.
brick wall. And then
Yeah.
destroying the brick wall, and then recording what was left.
Yeah, but destroying the brick wall because we can't trust the system. Fuck
You
yeah.
can't trust the builders.
Yeah.
Build the house yourself.
I built mine out of popsicle sticks.
What's the next album, Will? I think you're in a bit of an advantage here, because I think even if you picked a Bob Basic album, we're
It's
probably
gonna
going to
get a
think it's
30.
great.
I was gonna pick some. I was gonna try and pick some a bit like more that I like that you
Yeah.
might not like, but because we've had such a terrible week, I think everyone deserves a bit of a
Palette cleanser.
palate cleanser. So
Yay.
it's gonna be Mariana's Trench, Ever After.
Who's that?
Mariana's Trench,
I thought for a second you were going to say Ed Sheeran.
Ever After. I very nearly did, but then I was kind of like
How do you spell Marianus? Ah, found it, don't worry.
Mariana's
Oh
Trench.
yeah, I know this album.
Ever
Which
After.
album? Ever After.
Yeah.
Don't know
Shit, I
this.
already had it. I already have it liked in my library from when you nearly picked it before. Which obviously people don't. Was that before you recorded album review?
No. But we were recording an album review.
I must have just cut it
Because
because you picked it before and then changed your mind.
Yeah, because I think it was when I was going to pick it, and then Aidan was like, "Oh, really? But this album's just come out." Like, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'll change that." I can't remember what that was. Was
I
that
don't know.
that might
All
have
I
been
know-
Machine Gun Kelly?
Potentially, but all I know is that Rag and Bone Man's album's coming out on the 28th of April.
Is it? I heard. I like this new single.
I
Yeah,
tell
I'm,
you-
I'm excited for it.
I tell you what might happen. Architect's new album comes out tomorrow.
Yes,
I
yes. So,
might have to
so
pick
fucking what?
Architects.
So fucking
It hasn't
what,
been that
Joe?
long since you
Architects.
picked him, though, has it?
Ages.
Has it been 5 picks for you?
What, since you picked Architects?
Has it been 5 months?
5 months.
Yeah, definitely. Architects was fucking ages ago.
Oh my god!
fuck's sake.
And it falls on my pick, the 28th.
Well, actually, Architects have done a couple of singles that I like.
I was going to say, their new stuff's very different.
A bit better.
Can't even find Architects.
Yes, because there's no one to build the house anymore because we can't trust them. There aren't any.
You can't trust the system.
Get rid of the builders.
So yeah.
What genre is this?
Awful.
Oh, Mariana's
sorry,
Trench.
this new album. I thought you meant...
I don't know really.
No
It's like
way.
pop punk-y, but then it's also like a bit musical.
Just put indie or
What's the
some
word?
shit, I don't know.
Let's have a look about.
Neo, the chosen one.
Abstract.
Doesn't really say what they are.
I'm trying to look on Wikipedia to see what it says. What genre? Say a genre. Well, it's been rated by Absolute Punk. So maybe
Yeah,
punk.
good punk then.
It's pop. Let's go pop punk. That's if you've got that as a thing.
Yeah.
Weird because it's like pop punky, like typical American voice like that, but then it's a bit different to that because it's very like musical. You'll see what I mean when you listen to it. Bit different.
It's kind of like
Closing-
it's kind of Disney Channel music. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
You got a closing thought for us here, Joe?
Did you know that you can't describe what censorship is in China because they banned the word?